Hey, and welcome to Strap a Watch. I'm Michael Knapp Leather. Today's episode is pretty cool because I finally did it, man. I finally did it. I made a strap for my OMEGA Seamaster. I had done a review on this watch some time ago, and I'll leave a link here so that if you haven't seen that episode, you can take a look and go in and watch that video. But we're gonna go into some detail on this watch. I mean, it's not gonna be a full watch review because I've already done one. But you're gonna be seeing me hand make this strap. And I'll tell you what, I can already see this is gonna be either you love it or hate it kind of a strap. I think it's so cool, over the top cool. And all right, I'm gonna take it off. I'll show you guys. Red alligator. So I'm going to be talking about what inspired me to make this strap during this week's episode. But it'd be cool if you guys leave comments whether or not you like this or not. Let me know. I just, I'm intrigued about your opinions as well. So stick around. After the intro, we're going to get right into it. Thank you so much for joining me today on Strap a Watch, and here once again, my OMEGA Seamaster Professional 300 Diver M. I did a review on this, put it out, it was in December 1st of last year, so just a couple of months ago now. And like I left a link there in the intro. And yes, if you like the channel, please subscribe. We're building this channel, trying to form a community of other watch enthusiasts, promoting the wearing of watches. Here are the looms on the OMEGA Seamaster of mine. I love that second, the minute hand has a kind of a unique, different shade of a green loom. Here it is in the time grapher, and it's running right now at about minus 7/8 seconds per day. And I do this with all of my watches. I just check them out in the time grapher, see where they're at. And right here I'm taking off the bracelet. I took off the one end and getting ready. So now there's just the back of the watch head. It is a screw down back case. And, it is rated at 300 meters. It is a true dive watch. A great, great watch. So here is the red alligator, okay, that I'm cutting out. And what inspired me to do this is I'm, not just a YouTuber, but I follow a lot of YouTubers. And one of them that I follow is Teddy BALDASSARRE'S channel. He does a great show. Here he is with Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank. And Kevin, all of his watches he wears, especially on the show, are red strapped. Okay, and so I had seen that episode. I never had ever anticipated making a completely red strap before. And then I started, really thinking about it. Watched that episode a couple of times. Teddy just did a show where he and Kevin went out shopping for watches too. Check out Teddy's channel. I'll leave a link for him as well. And here is what I paid back in the... Actually, no, I didn't pay that much. This is what they're going for now. This watch is discontinued, but there's still a number of them that they had produced that you can purchase through authorized dealers and even in the secondary and gray markets. But that's the retail price. I paid in the high $2,000 range. I think it was right around $2,800, brand new. From an authorized dealer. It was on a big holiday special that they had. I didn't anticipate buying a watch at all. And again, if you watch that other episode, what had happened is I had a Tudor Heritage GMT that was just a fantastic watch, and I had left it in a hotel room, and I never got the watch back. And this was a watch, I ended up pulling the trigger because of the amount of savings during the special event that they had. I just couldn't pass it up. And so what I justified was, you know, replacing the Tudor, this watch with the Tudor. I was kind of shopping around, honestly, for a no-date Submariner. Through my authorized dealer, I'd been looking around and, you know, travels and all kinds of places, you know, from Chrono 24, online, all kinds of different places. And it's really difficult buying a Rolex, for me at least, online, unless I really know who the author or who the dealer is, even in the gray market. I mean, it's too scary for me. Maybe not for some of you, but, you know, with all of the fakes that are out there, and you don't know, you know, if it's an older watch, you know, has anything been replaced, a dial been replaced, a hands, you know, whatever. And it's going to diminish the value of that watch, and you just don't know. So when I am going to buy a watch, I usually will buy a brand new watch, all right? And I was looking for a Submariner no date, black dial, and you just, at the time, you know, this is 5 years ago now when I bought this Omega, you could not find a no date sub anywhere that was, you know, brand new that I wanted. I couldn't find one. So after had been looking for about a year, pretty hardcore, and not finding it, when I walked into this Omega boutique, and they were having this huge event sale, and I was like, wow, that's a pretty watch. I tried it on, I looked at it, this Seamaster, and I was totally not gonna buy the watch. And they could tell I liked it, and they just kept dropping the price. You know, it was, you know, 15%, and it was, you know, 20% off, and it was like, wow. And so finally, I think it was right around $2,750, $2,800, you know, and then plus tax. So, and, you know, here I am, I'm making the strap. This is me putting the keeper and getting the keeper glued up, and I had to just skive it right there. And I always make two keepers just in case. You know, there's the main keeper, and then there's the loose secondary keeper. And if I get it sized right, you know, for me or somebody else, you should not have to use a secondary keeper. So that's just a little inside. And for all you leather crafters out there, I'd really like to see your opinion on the final product of this. Like I said in the intro, I think it's going to be a love-hate type of a product. And what you had seen me do was put some edge paint, like a lighter blue edge paint. And you're going to also then see me, because it wasn't dark enough, and I had anticipated doing this anyways, was using a darker navy blue dye on the edge. So here's the box that the Omega Seamaster came in, and it's, I mean, compared to like Rolex packaging coming in a plastic, you know, case with Rolex, it's pretty funny, but, you know, they're Rolex, they can just do what they want. This is an amazing packaging from Omega. It really is. That is just over the top, man. Beautiful box. You know, this, I just got it out. It's been sitting in my closet for 5 years. So, I mean, yeah, they make all this great packaging, and then you put it away and you never see it again. But if I were to ever be selling the watch, you should keep your boxes. I've kept all the boxes of all of my watches, and, you know, a lot of other things that I buy. Most of you guys know I'm a knife guy, and I've got a lot of very nice knives and guns and all kinds of cool stuff. And I always keep the boxes. It drives my wife absolutely nuts. And the warranty card, everything's in there. That instruction manual is written in so many languages. I didn't count them, but it's just language after language after language, which is pretty cool. So, and then this is me also on the strap getting ready to put in the quick release lug pins. I do that on all my personal watches, and when I'm selling straps, this is an upsell. I've talked about this before, because these little pins, they cost more money than just traditional pins. lug pins. So, you know, I have to charge a little bit more because I pay more for the pins. I typically usually only buy Barton lug pins. They're just super high quality, and hats off to them. They make watch straps, so you could say they're a total competitor of mine. But, you know, they don't make true alligator skin straps. They make alligator embossed. It's leather that's been embossed to look like alligator, but they don't make real alligator. Real alligator straps, they're expensive for a reason. It's because the alligator hides and skins that you get are very expensive. Just that little teeny piece you saw me cut out was $45. So, you know, and basically could get 2 straps maybe out of it. I took the best pieces out, and so, I mean, I could probably get 1 more strap, but it wouldn't be as high a quality as this one, just, you know, in all honesty. So here I am, you know, I put the edge paint on, and now this is dye. If I would have just put the dye on before the edge paint, it would have bled into the lining side way too much. Even the alligator, it would have bled into it, and then the edges would all be just bled in with dark blue. So that's why I put that lighter blue on first as a base layer, and then the darker blue dye. All right, and I had to be real careful with this so that I didn't just, you know, get anything onto the lining or onto the alligator. There was a little teeny bit of a bleed up kind of near where my thumb is on the alligator side, and that was really it. And I wiped it off pretty well with some Repton. You'll see me doing that here in a little bit. But I'll tell you, I mean, I love this watch, and what had happened, you know, if you watch that other episode, I had never yet made a strap for this watch because I loved the bracelet so much. I even stated it. Out of all of the watches I've ever purchased or received, because I've actually been gifted watches, I've won watches and contests and stuff like that for work, it was the most comfortable bracelet I've ever had out of all of the watches I've ever had with a bracelet. It's just a super comfortable bracelet. But the deal is, I just wasn't wearing the watch. I mean, ever. I was always lately, at least for the last almost year, just wearing watches with straps. Now, just, you know, to let you guys know a little bit more about myself, I come from a pretty strong marketing background. I was a marketing director of a healthcare company. I was in business development, public relations as well for years, along with, you know, I had been a professional golf caddy for years, so you guys know about that. And I'm a business owner. You have to market. So, you know, I mean, I own the hearing clinic, and I also own Michael Knapp Leather. So I'm always wearing nowadays all, you know, watches with straps, not bracelets, because, you know, just conversation, it gets brought up a lot of times, and I'm able to show them my work. I can just say, yeah, this is what I do, and I show them my watch strap and my watch, and I take it off and let them examine it and check it out, and they're like, wow. And I mean, a lot of times guys end up ordering watch straps that way. So, you know, that's why I had not been wearing it, and I didn't even really consider making a strap until I saw Teddy and Kevin on Teddy Baldassarre's YouTube channel. There's the Repton. And saw Kevin's collection, and I wear, a lot of times you can see I wear a black shirt a lot and gray shirts on strap a watch. And of course I wear my light blue, kind of aqua blue shirt at my office for the hearing aid company. I've got about a dozen of those shirts that, you know, I wear day in, day out at that company. So when I'm out of work, though, I'm typically wearing kind of darker clothes. I mean, it just is that kind of way with me. I don't know. Everybody's kind of got their own style. But, and Kevin always wears like black suits, black shirts, with a red handkerchief in the coat pocket on Shark Tank. You know, I don't really ever watch that show. I mean, just to tell you guys, I don't. There's my favorite product, Toconol. Everybody knows that. I haven't showcased that in a while, but I use it on just about every product. So I'm burnishing in the edge with the Toconol. But after seeing Kevin wearing some of these red straps, man, I was like, wow, is that cool? Does that make it pop? And I thought, well, this is going to be a, you know, at least a conversation starter of wearing it out in public. And as I'm making it, I mean, right here, I mean, I'm getting ready to put the deployment clasp on. And as I'm making this, it's just dawning on me how cool it is. I mean, and again, I can see this being a love-hate product. I get it. You're going to love it or hate it. And please, yeah, leave comments. Let me know. Doesn't matter. Everybody's got their own taste. Man, if you don't like it, it's cool. Just let me know what you don't like about it. You know, but if you do like it, let me know. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say. You know, and thank you so much to all of my newer subscribers. I've got a lot of really cool people from all over the world. You know, they're chiming in and leaving comments, but there it is on my wrist, and it fit perfect. So you can see how it just, the tip, the point end of the strap goes into the keeper perfectly, where I don't need that secondary keeper. And here it is, final product. This watch is gorgeous. I mean, it is. I like this better than the newer dials that they have out with the wave patterns on them. I just do. I prefer this dial. But look at this strap. I mean, it turned out sweet. I don't think I made really too many mistakes, if any, on this strap. You always make at least some mistakes on any handmade product. You just do. I mean, we're dealing with a natural product of leather. But just look at that. I mean, everything turned out really pretty perfect. It did. Oh, I love it. I mean, I absolutely love it. And I hope you guys do too as well. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining me again today on Strap a Watch. Had a lot of fun this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. God bless. Until next time, keep on ticking.